afternoon. The state news. Babatunde Bolatito is my name. The state governor, Mr. Adegboyega Oyetola, and Babagana Zulum of Borno State have been chosen to co-chair the accreditation subcommittee of the ruling All Progressive Congress for the presidential primary elections of the party. Also, Minister of Labor and Employment, Dr. Chris Ngige, and Professor Isaac Adewale are both chairmen of Medical Subcommittee. This is contained in a release by the National Working Committee of the party assigned by the National Publicity Secretary, Felix Morka. The release also contains subcommittees such as Budget, Finance, Logistics, Security, and Compliance, Election Planning, among others. The fares of agreed parties in the just concluded primary elections of the APC in the state have been allayed by putting in place an appeal committee to address all kinds of issues in the election. Director General Ileri Oluwa Campaign Organization and Senator representing Osun Central in the National Assembly, Dr. Ajibola Bashiru, gave the indication in an interview with OSBC News. He added that the results of the primaries were in line with the wishes of the party members. He speaks.
The election held in 332 wards for the House of Assembly, 26 constituencies. It also held in the 9 federal constituency, and of course, in the Senate election, there was really an election only in one senatorial district. So, which of the constituency had been manipulated? So, it's not just enough to make what logicians call the fallacy of hasty generalization. When elections are conducted, there's avenue for appeal. And an appeal committee is set up, and to the best of my knowledge, only 3 constituencies, House of Rep, had filed any appeal at all. So when you look at the percentage of complaint, therefore, it's so infinitesimal for anybody to make a blatant accusation of manipulation of elections. Nobody manipulates any election. And if there's an election that you cannot manipulate, it's an election that is controlled. The primary, at every ward, results were announced. So it's only straight when people say results have not been announced. So if you are an aspirant, you have agents in all the wards where you have done the election. So it is expected that you should be able to tally what you get in your respective location. So there's no such, no credibility in the allegation of manipulation of election results.
The state government of Osun has reiterated its commitment to continue to champion its obligation towards advancing the socio-economic fortunes and general well-being of citizens. Speaking during the 14th flag-off ceremony at the multi-purpose hall of the Local Government Service Commission, the state government, the Governor Adegboyega Oyetola said the scheme was not designed for political patronage, hence the need for its continuation and sustainability since inception. Represented by the Secretary to the State Government, Prince Wole Oyebamiji, the governor noted that his government remained resolute to its commitment to monthly distribution of food items to the citizens, adding that nothing would distract it from implementing the scheme to bring succor to the people in the state. He said the scheme, which had become point of reference to many, will be implemented throughout the period of his administration. Journalists have been encouraged to focus more on solutions to problems instead of harping on the problems. Done in the Department of Mass Communication, Fountain University, Osogbo, Dr. Rashida Adebiyi, who stated this while speaking to OSBC News, regretted that reportage and reporting problems over the years by newsmen have not brought impactful solution to the problems. Accepting that the government has a lot to do in solving communal problems, Dr. Adebiyi opined that communities themselves can tackle some of the challenges with a duty on journalists to report such efforts to alert government instead of writing or reporting to bash the government all the time. He speaks.
About the problem so much. What's next? Okay. Yeah, do we allow the problem to overwhelm us? It's condemnable that things that people are supposed to do, they're putting it on the doorsteps of some other agencies. For instance, every problem we have is about government. But of course, there is nowhere in the world where the government does everything. The government will play its own part. The citizens too must play their own part. So, looking at the scenario at that time, people that reported the problem and people that also escalated it by giving responses that is placing the blame elsewhere instead of looking within and looking at what people are supposed to do at that time. They are focusing on the problem. So a solution journalist, a solutions person, instead of focusing on the problem, will look at what people are doing to respond to the problem. Okay, for instance, if, for instance, during that time, we had in a community where the people of those communities stood up and said all the youth of the town, called them to a meeting and appealed to them that they should maintain calm and showed understand that yes, we had COVID, we had NSAS and all of that, but in all of this, all of us in this community can rise up to solve our own problem. Okay? So what we are saying is, when we have problems, instead of focusing on the problems, why not focusing on people who are doing differently to tackle and respond to the problem?
The immediate past Accountant General of the state, Mr. Sunday Igbarola, has admonished civil servants to be diligent in their duties to the state and service to humanity. Mr. Igbarola gave the admonition at a dinner organized to appreciate his meritorious service in the state and to welcome the new Accountant General, Mr. Olalere Alabi. Our reporter, Ayobami Akomalafe's report, is presented from our studios.
The gathering of dignitaries at the dinner hosted by Living Trust Mortgage Bank in honor of the immediate past and new Accountants General of the state of Osun. The event attracted dignitaries from the financial world, including the State Commissioner of Finance, Mr. Bola Oyebamiji, who was full of appreciation to the organizers of the program for bestowing honor to whom it is due. Mr. Oyebamiji described the retired accountant as a thoroughbred professional who has left a lasting legacy in the state. The commissioner, will describe Governor Adegboyega Oyetola as an excellent manager of men and resources, reiterated the commitment of the present administration towards the uplift of the state despite the meager resources.
This is a wonderful man. He's a very wonderful man, and he's a straightforward man. He's someone that is highly reliable, he's diligent, and I think he's a personality that what can call the gift of nature.
In his remarks, Chairman of the bank, Mr. Adebayo Jimo, lauded Mr. Igbarola for the immense contributions and show of love exhibited towards the bank, which ensured a successful collaboration during his time in service, and expressed hope that the cordial relationship will be sustained. In his response at the event, Mr. Sunday Igbarola expressed gratitude to the officials of the bank for their constant support during his time as the Accountant General and believed such success being recorded and attached to his office during his service years would not have been possible without their partnership and activeness.
Always be there for us, your support day and night, as rightly said by my Oga. At any time, till any moment, when we are in a state of need and we call on Living Trust, you always answer our call. You never let us down.
Speaking in the same vein, the new Accountant General, Mr. Olalere Alabi, appreciated the bank officials for such a memorable event put in place and pledged that his office will sustain cordial relationship that exists between the state government and the financial institution.
We believe in your bank. We believe in the support you are giving to the office of the Accountant General and the state government at large, because it depends too much on you, and you've not been disappointing. I believe you will continue that cooperation with us.
The event climaxed with the presentation of awards and gifts to Mr. Igbarola for his meritorious service to the state. Similarly, the new Accountant General, Mr. Olalere, was also honored at the event.
Philanthropy does not commit lavish spending by giving as little as one can to the needy, ranging from individuals to groups and associations. The CEO of Panache Woodcraft, Ms. Sarah Ajayi, stated this by presenting some office items to the Radio, Television, Theatre Workers Union of OSBC. She indicated our readiness to continue to partner with Ratawu OSBC in order to move the union forward. Responding, Chairman of Ratawu OSBC, Comrade Temitayo Fagbon, appreciated Ms. Sarah Ajayi for the gesture. Maintained the anthem donated by her will assist the union in no small measure in meeting its obligations. The items donated to OSBC Ratawu include conference and coffee tables. That ends the state news on OSBC TV. Please join us at 5 for evening news. Good afternoon.